Welcome to the forest. This will be chapter 3 of The Hunter and the Sphinx. The story continues the morning after the fight with the Malacanth. As the hunter is finishing up breakfast, the Sphinx appears at the edge of his campsite and greets him. "Hello, Sir Hunter. Meow. Would you like to come on an adventure?" "Oh boy," thought the hunter. "Let me guess. You wanted to find out what that Malacanth was doing so close to the city." "Meow. How perceptive of you. Indeed. That should not be. Meow. I don't like those Malacanth creeping around. They're dangerous, after all. They should stay in their swamp where they belong." Agreed. So, here's the thing, though. I am not going anywhere near Malacanth territory with just a bow and arrow. It's great for this part of the forest, but this Malacanths, no. Too dangerous. I'm gonna have to stop by one of my, shall we say, secret caches of equipment and get something special for this trip. Wow, okay, let's go. So the hunter and the Sphinx went off to an out of the way part of the jungle and found one of the hunter's well hidden caches of equipment from a bygone era. "Yes, will do just nicely," he said as he pulled out his trusty laser rifle. "I feel much better going near Malacanth with this one." Alright, the hunter quickly re-hid the rest of his equipment, and they journeyed south and east. After a couple days' travel, they came to the edge of the jungle swamp. "Wow, we're gonna have to be very careful in this area." So, the hunter and the Sphinx carefully crept through the foliage, searching for something that might be causing the Malacanth to be journeying far from their traditional homes. As they journeyed into the ways into the swampy land, they could hear the sound of men's voices. "Ooh, this could be trouble." The hunter and the Sphinx crept slowly, carefully, so they could hear what was being said. As they crept up, they saw in the distance a small campsite with a bunch of activity as men were digging and going through an area of the swamp. It sounded like they were looking for a hidden treasure they heard was somewhere in that area. Oh, well, that's why all the Malacanth are leaving the swamp. A bunch of armed men wrecking their home. "Well," said the hunter, "I don't much care for Malacanth, but they don't deserve to have their homes wrecked by a bunch of treasure hunters. So, well, we're gonna have to figure out a way to get these guys to leave." "Well, why don't you just use that laser rifle?" asked the Sphinx with a mischievous glint in her eye. "I don't think so," said the hunter. I left war and that behind. I've had enough of killing people. I don't mind defending myself or my friends, but there's no way I'm going to go murder a whole bunch of people, however misguided they may be. So, you value the Malakam and the treasure hunters, do you? Interesting. Well, I think I might have an idea on how we can get them to leave. Do you now? I'm all ears. So, the hunter laid out his plan for the Sphinx. They waited for nightfall. The campground grew quiet as the treasure hunters went to bed. They did have one lookout, but he was very quickly subdued with a blow to the back of his head. The hunter wrote a message in the dirt, as if from a malevolent entity. Be warned, this is my swamp. Leave now or suffer the consequences. And after leaving the camp, the Sphinx activated her aura of fear. All the men in the campsite woke up, except the one that was knocked out. And feel this feeling of fear and dread. What's going on? Why does it feel so awful here suddenly? And we found a knocked out man and saw the message scrawled in the dirt. Whoa. This is a messed up place, guys. Come on, is it really worth looking for treasure here? Yeah, don't be such a coward. The men argued amongst each other. It was clear they didn't really want to be there, but they also didn't want to leave the treasure, whatever it may be. So, as they settled back to a fitful night's sleep, Hunter and the Sphinx retreated to wait for the next night. As Hunter and the Sphinx stayed well away from men, they rested throughout the day, had a meal, and prepared for the night's activities. Once night fell, the men went to their tents, except for 2 night watchmen this time. The hunter played the next part of his plan into motion. Set 2 knockout gas canisters at either end of the camp, keeping out of sight of the night watchman. And as the timer counted down, the Sphinx activated her fear aura again. The people awoke in a fright just as the knockout gas released its contents, and they were all rendered unconscious. Hunter and the Sphinx came into the camp quickly and removed all of their firearms and weapons, tied them up in a circle in the center of the camp, and left another ominous message in the dirt in front of them. You should flee. This is your last warning. You should flee now before my pets come and claim your flesh for their own. As the And also, before my fires burn your flesh from its bones, as the treasure hunters awoke, found themselves tied up with a single knife in front of them. The message there in the dark of the night, the sound of Malakanth shuffling in the distance, became quite apparent to them that it was not a good place to be. They managed to free themselves with the knife that was left for them, and turned tail and ran for all they were worth along back up the trail towards the city. It was going to be a long, difficult journey without supplies, but better to get out now before the Malakanth, or whatever that spirit is, got to them first. As the hunter and the Sphinx watched the men flee, they quickly moved in to the campsite and set off the incendiary devices they had planted to cause the entire camp to erupt in flames, so that the treasure hunters would see your entire camp going up in flames behind them and think it was the spirit, of course. The hunter and the Sphinx crept back to the jungle, laughing at the poor treasure hunters. Well, that was an excellent plan, said the Sphinx. And you didn't have to kill anybody. Perfect. Well, yeah. One more part of the plan will be to go back to town. I'll start a rumor that treasure was already found and sold to an off-world trader some time ago, and they were just wasting their time in there. That should hopefully keep anyone else from creeping around there looking for something. Sounds like a great idea. I wonder if there actually was any treasure around here. Who knows? Whatever the case, it's not worth sending Malakanth running around through populated areas to find it. Well, indeed. Well, this has been an enlightening adventure. I will see you again soon, said the Sphinx. Looking forward to it, Miss Tian. Wow. See you soon, Hunter Ash. And with that, the Sphinx loped off through the jungle to whatever mysterious places she may be.